teaming up with others because there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle.
So Branton, what's the number one secret to scaling a multifamily investing operation?
Boy, that answer probably changes as you get into the business and learn and get more experience, both good and bad, right? I think you learn more from bad experiences and bad leadership around you in life than, you don't learn a lot from things that go great or things that go well. You just kind of chalk it up to, I did everything right, and you move on. Whereas when things go somewhat wrong or start to derail, it forces you to do some critical thinking. So I think one of the number one secrets in getting started and scaling in multifamily past the initial education in the business or any new field that you're going into is understanding that it is a team sport. There is going to be a time later on in your career where you will need to maybe shrink the size of your teams somewhat as you have more resources internally to apply to acquisitions and life cycle and business plan of implementation. But getting started definitely means teaming up with others because there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle required to source, successfully conduct due diligence, gain the debt service needed, the equity raise, and ultimately close on the property, and then effectively implement your business plan over the next 3, 5, 7 years to execute on the underwriting projections that you are offering your equity partners. So that is a team sport. And not everybody's going to just start off with this big, giant, vertically integrated company. You have to leverage the skills of others to get that done. And so that is the big secret.
Excellent. So the number one secret is understanding it's a team sport and understanding that it's going to take someone who's going to be sourcing, due diligence, debt and equity raise, close, and or a mixture of some of those roles. So what's the number one secret to making sure you're finding the proper team member, perhaps, to make sure you're hitting number one secret on a successful start?
Absolutely. I think first understanding the pieces of the puzzle, right? If you're going to acquire a property based off size, price, you can then back into how much the loan proceeds are going to be, and you're going to have to satisfy net worth and liquidity requirements for those loans. You're going to have if it's a value add or construction capex type, who's going to project manage, who has those expertise, who has that background, who can raise the necessary equity capital into the deal to satisfy that piece of the puzzle. And then who's going to asset manage, conduct financial modeling, investor updates, quarterly, monthly, all of those things. So understanding the pieces of the puzzle is step one. And then see a gap, fill a gap, right? That's always been my mantra. So you have to step in and fill those roles and make sure that you have adequate personnel. This is not something where you really want to have an entire team of people that are at the same knowledge level as you. While that is generally where we gravitate, from human nature, everybody wants to be the smartest guy in the room or smartest guy on the team. That is not the successful team to really for anything, but let alone multifamily acquisitions. So you really need to put people that are smarter than you in a functional area that have a background in that area, because they're going to do it better than you most likely. So I think that's a key element to that.
Excellent. I love that. See a gap, fill a gap, make sure you have adequate personnel and understand that having people smarter than you in the room are going to help you to and fill that gap is going to be the key there. And then you mentioned a key thing too, like the net worth requirements. You're basically starting with the end in mind and reverse engineering it. Like, we're going to need somebody who has a net worth who can sign on this loan, and it's maybe call it like a key person, right? Who just their net worth alone.
KP. Absolutely.
Yeah. Key person there to the KP to make sure that you can actually even get the loan, right? And then